Evan slumped on the rec lounge couch, staring at the ceiling, muttering something about broken plasma coils and intergalactic incompetence. He rubbed his temples, wishing the universe had a pause button. That wish evaporated the moment Zyra floated down behind him, antennae twitching like a hyperactive metronome. Her grin was infuriatingly smug. "Poor human," she cooed, voice dripping with faux sympathy. "You look like someone just crushed your favorite childhood memory." "I wish someone had," Evan muttered, eyes narrowing. "Then at least I'd be crying for a reason." Zyra's idea of fun? Low-gravity bubbles. Hers were harmless on Valari, but humans were, apparently, exquisitely sensitive to accidental gravity fields. She hovered, measuring her target with a wink, and dropped onto him like a feathered meteor. Her backside pressed against him in a gesture she considered playful. Evan froze, feeling the familiar human reflexes that he really didn't want triggered. Immediately, the bubble reacted with a human-only gravitational quirk nobody had predicted. His body lurched toward her like a magnet seeking steel. Face first, chest first, forehead first, it didn't matter. He was a human puppet on invisible strings. Every attempt to resist made it worse. The lounge AI interpreted the struggle as a deliberate bonding ritual, and started narrating in an eerily calm robotic voice, pointing out how physical contact is escalating beyond social norms. Zyra panicked. Not the panic of, "I sat on someone." That was normal. This was panic of, "I sat on someone and accidentally tethered their body to mine in a biologically intimate way." Her antennae flared in embarrassment. That's not supposed to happen," she squeaked, wobbling as Evan slid closer. "I'm not supposed to be this close to you either," Evan said, voice muffled, nose practically embedded in her shoulder. "But apparently my body didn't get the memo." His sarcasm only made her laugh nervously. Every step she took yanked him along, often violently. She tried to float gracefully forward. He fell over like a rag doll, arms flailing, hitting her hips repeatedly. The AI continued commentary. "Proximity levels exceeding human comfort thresholds. Suggest evasive maneuvers." Suggestions ignored. Evan groaned and tried to stand, immediately yanked backward into an even more compromising angle. Nearby crew members whispered, "Is this a mating display? Or some Valari yoga class? Do humans even know what's happening?" Evan tried to push himself away. Zyra floated slightly back, and pop, he flew straight into her lap like a human projectile. She yelped. He cursed, muffled against her chest. Both were sweating, both mortified, but neither could escape. The gravity link was absolute. Just a prank, now had the stakes of a cosmic sitcom. The lounge monitor blinked a warning. "Attached unit detected. Please proceed together to medbay." Evan groaned audibly. "I'm going to need therapy after this." Zyra's grin returned, sheepish but mischievous. "Or maybe just a lot of ice packs." Every attempt to speak naturally ended in awkward double entendres. "You're heavy today," he muttered. "You think?" she replied, eyes sparkling. "Gravity must like me." Every word carried a dark humor undercurrent. They were trapped together by physical comedy and physiology, their bodies mocking them with every involuntary collision. As they shuffled toward the med bay, Evan whispered, "This is humiliating on a galactic scale." Zyra giggled. "And educational. Humans are responsive." He groaned again. Somewhere in the background, the AI droned. "Proximity increased. Bonding probability, critical." Evan shot the machine a glare. Zyra leaned closer, whispering, "Don't worry, it's supposed to feel like that." He swallowed. She laughed. And so it began, the gravity-linked disaster that neither of them wanted, but both were about to learn would ruin every normal day on Hesper 9 forever. Evan tried stepping forward, and immediately felt the invisible leash tighten. Zyra floated ahead like a mischievous ghost, her hips bouncing just enough to make him crash into her chest again. "Could you not?" he groaned, trying to push himself back. Every push only yanked him into more intimate collisions. "I swear, one of these times, I'm going to knock a rib into your brain." You exaggerate, she said, barely hiding her smirk. Though, admittedly, your face is hitting the wrong places. Her antennae twitched like she was enjoying it far too much. They passed the table where 2 Valari interns were eating noodles. Evan toppled into the noodles, slurping some across his cheek as Zyra hovered above him. One intern whispered, "Is this courtship?" The other whispered back, "Humans are weird, right?" Evan blinked sauce off his nose. "I am weird," he admitted. "And now I'm covered in someone else's lunch." Zyra giggled. "See? You're bonding with the universe already." He gritted his teeth and tried stepping sideways, thinking maybe lateral movement would help. Instead, he bounced off her rear like a human pinball, hands flailing, face smushed in her shoulder. Zyra's laughter echoed down the corridor, turning every accidental bump into a public spectacle. "Maybe if I spin in the opposite direction?" she suggested. Evan eyed her skeptically, thinking it sounded like a plot to make him collide with her in a more compromising way. Of course it was. He braced himself, spinning, and sure enough, his arms wrapped around her waist as he slid down in a mortifying tangle. His nose was inches from her collarbone. "I hate you," he muttered, muffled against her skin. Zyra just wiggled, antennae bouncing. "I think you secretly enjoy it." Their path to medbay became an obstacle course of humiliation. Every corner revealed new ways gravity had betrayed them. A floating trash can became a launching pad for Evan's flailing body. A service robot squealed in panic as he ricocheted into it, and every Valari passerby whispered double entendres about human accident proximity. The AI continued its monotone updates. Bonding intensity at 82%. Recommend minimal movement. Evan spat on the floor. Minimal movement? We're a tangled disaster. Zyra's attempts to calm the situation only escalated it. She floated backward, trying to slow him down, but the bond yanked him like a rag doll attached to a cosmic bungee. Every shuffle made him press further into her hips, arms flailing against her chest. Even the crew's security droids backed away, muttering, "I didn't sign up for this level of intimacy physics." When they finally stumbled into medbay, both panting and sticky with sweat, the ship's doctor could barely breathe from laughter. "You two, this isn't just a prank. The link, it's stable. Exceptionally stable." Evan looked at Zyra, incredulous. "Stable? You mean I'm stuck to you because of your butt?" Zyra's smirk widened. "Yes. Congratulations. My butt is legendary." The doctor waved them to the scanning table. "Keep calm. Don't think sexy thoughts. Don't touch each other. Don't." Evan rolled his eyes. "Yeah, right. That's exactly what humans do when gravity forcibly smushes them together." Zyra whispered. "You're cute when you complain," sending a shock of warmth through him. He groaned. "I hate that you're cute too." They tried standing apart. Instantly, the bond yanked him back, sending him flying into her lap again. Zyra stifled a laugh. Evan groaned so loudly it set off a small alarm. The med bay was filling with whispers and snickers. "Are they dating?" someone asked. Another replied, "If that's dating, I want to be smashed against someone's butt involuntarily, too." By the time they left medbay, both realized their problem had escalated from funny prank to station-wide spectacle. Every step remained hazardous. Every glance carried the potential for catastrophic embarrassment. Zyra floated just ahead, Evan dangling behind, grumbling. "Next time you prank someone, make sure their body doesn't obey some weird cosmic law." Zyra winked. "Where's the fun in that?" The corridor stretched endlessly, and they both knew one thing: getting unstuck would be a nightmare, and the entire station was silently betting on how many accidental collisions it would take before the universe broke them, or them breaking the universe. Once inside Zyra's quarters, Evan tried to stretch his legs without touching her. Instantly, the gravity link yanked him back, slamming him into her chest. "Seriously, I can't move an inch without being your human yo-yo," he groaned. Zyra floated backward, antennae twitching with amusement. "Well, technically you are a yo-yo. Cute, soft, and very responsive." Evan's sarcasm was muffled as he slid slightly down her front. Your species has a terrible sense of humor. Zaira tilted her head, pretending innocence. I prefer creative chaos. His glare did nothing. The bond ignored human emotions, only heightening the physics of their closeness. They tried every possible method, stepping apart, counterweights, magnetic harnesses, each failed spectacularly. Evan ended up leaning over her desk, his arms flailing as she giggled uncontrollably. Every failed attempt produced new, accidentally suggestive positions. One moment he was pinned awkwardly against her chest while she reached for a tool. Another, he tried standing, and the link yanked him into a near face-to-hip collision. Zaira muttered, "It's kind of like human wrestling." Evan whispered, "It's horrifying human wrestling, and you're the champion." The more they struggled, the more obvious their bonded state appeared to anyone watching through the observation panels. Crew members whispered rumors. They're rehearsing some intimate dance. Or possibly mating rituals? Zaira groaned. No, it's called science, Evan hissed. Sure, science that crushes your dignity. Desperate, they tried emotional techniques. Maybe if we stop thinking about each other, Zaira suggested, floating a safe distance away. Evan raised an eyebrow. You sat on me earlier. That's all my brain remembers. Zaira's antennae twitched. Then maybe think about the stock market? Taxes? Awful cafeteria food? He groaned. You're not helping. The link yanked him closer anyway, reminding him that sarcasm does not weaken cosmic physics. Finally, Zaira considered recreating the original prank pressure. Maybe if I sit on you again, it'll reset the bubble, she admitted, face red with embarrassment. Evan froze. Are you insane? It's science, she insisted. He reluctantly agreed, fearing further escalation. Her weight was gentle this time, but immediately, the link tightened, pulling them flush together. Arms entangled, torsos pressing, both gasping, both mortified. The room became a chaos of flailing limbs and accidental intimacy. Evan tried to rise, only to lift her slightly, resulting in unintentional closeness. Zaira pushed, he pulled, both verbally denying attraction while their bodies betrayed them. You're annoyingly soft, she muttered, cheeks flaming. And your chaos is dangerously cute, he admitted, voice dripping with sarcasm, and something slightly warmer. In between collisions, they began small confessions. Zaira admitted humans were loudly emotional and unpredictably fun, Evan countered. And Valari pranksters are annoyingly persistent, but entertaining. Their laughter and shared complaints forged a subtle intimacy, dark humor threading through their embarrassment. As time passed, they realized the gravity link wasn't purely physical, it responded to subconscious emotional attraction. Every flustered glance, every sharp word of sarcasm or teasing, strengthened the pull. They were trapped not just by physics, but by their own unwilling chemistry. Evan's forehead brushed hers during a failed separation attempt. So this is what cosmic humiliation feels like, he muttered. Zaira smirked. Welcome to my world. You might enjoy it more than you think. He groaned audibly, hiding a blush. They both froze, realizing that every denial and joke only made the link stronger. By the end of the night, both were exhausted, tangled, and painfully aware that this was more than a prank gone wrong. Their proximity, frustration, and hidden attraction had escalated beyond comedy into dangerously flirtatious territory. The gravity link wasn't just a nuisance, it was a test of patience, wit, and mutual embarrassment, setting the stage for a solution that would require every ounce of cooperation, wit, and tolerance either of them wanted to admit they possessed. Evan and Zaira stood in the gravity calibration chamber, both dreading the solution as much as the problem. The machine required perfect coordination, precise steps, and emotional composure, none of which they possessed. Every attempt to separate resulted in catastrophic pulls that left them colliding, staggering, or entangled in compromising positions. The observation deck outside was crowded with crew members holding bets, snacks, and barely concealed giggles. Whoever survives this without slamming their face into a Valari but wins, someone whispered. The chamber's instructions were clear: stand exactly 1 meter apart, facing each other, and synchronize movements. The instant Zyra stepped back, Evan yelped as the link yanked him forward, chest first into her abdomen. I'm going to sue physics, he shouted, arms flailing, only to get yanked into her side on the next try. Zyra pinched the bridge of her nose, antennae twitching in exasperation. This is not what I signed up for when I pranked you. They tried counterweights. Heavy objects strapped to Evan did nothing but amplify the slapstick spectacle. One strap snapped, sending him flying across the chamber into a pile of Valari float pads. Zyra floated midair, laughing uncontrollably, until the machine's sensors beeped angrily. Calibration failure, it droned. Evan groaned from inside a pad. I hate everything. Zyra reached out to steady him, and naturally, the bond yanked him closer, pressing him against her with absurd intimacy. Next, the anti-gravity harness. Zyra activated a Valari float belt on Evan, expecting it to stabilize him. Instead, he drifted directly into her like a slow-motion romantic comedy scene gone wrong. Their faces were inches apart, breaths mingling, hearts pounding, and the AI monotone warned. Physical proximity exceeds safe parameters. Emotional resonance detected. Evan muttered. It's official. My dignity is a cosmic joke. Zyra chuckled. And I'm the punchline. Every failed attempt forced them into increasingly ridiculous positions, sliding past each other, spinning in midair, clutching furniture for balance, all while the bond mocked them with relentless physics. The chamber became a circus of flailing limbs, grunts, and sarcastic complaints. Zyra finally muttered. Maybe we're overthinking. Maybe it's not the machine, it's us. Evan blinked. Us? The bond formed because of, well, everything. Zyra admitted, antennae curling nervously. The prank, your reactions, the physical closeness, and probably your grumbling sarcasm. He froze. You mean, it's emotional? Partially, she whispered. And we need honesty to cancel it. They stared at each other, realizing the truth. The bond wasn't just physics, it responded to subconscious attraction. Every flustered glance, teasing comment, or denial only strengthened the pull. They reluctantly admitted it. Zyra liked him, his chaos, his sarcasm, his human stubbornness. Evan admitted he liked her, the way she laughed at disasters, the way she pranked mercilessly, the way she made him feel alive even while gravity tortured him. The machine beeped, sensors detecting emotional synchronization. It instructed. Hold hands. Confirm mutual acknowledgement of feelings. They hesitated, eyes locked, cheeks blazing, and finally grasped each other's hands. The gravity surge released like a snapped elastic band. Evan fell backward, landing on his side, and Zyra floated down beside him, both breathing heavily. The bond was gone. The crew outside erupted in applause. Someone shouted, Finally! Now kiss! They both bolted upright, blushing, shouting, "No!" simultaneously. Zyra's antennae twitched with suppressed laughter. Evan muttered, Next time you prank someone, maybe don't activate cosmic attraction? She grinned, mischievous as ever. Or maybe do, it's kind of fun. They stumbled out of the chamber, untethered but still flustered, hearts racing from chaos, embarrassment, and that tiny spark of connection neither could deny. Zyra nudged him lightly, whispering, So, want me to sit on you again? Evan almost fell over, hands flailing in mock horror, and she laughed, high-pitched and gleeful, the kind of laughter that promised trouble, adventure, and laughter-filled disasters in the future. The station's crew returned to their routines, whispering tales of the human who survived a Valari and the alien prankster who inadvertently tested gravitational laws and emotional boundaries simultaneously. Evan and Zyra, however, knew the truth. Physics may have failed them, social norms may have been obliterated, but they had survived, tangled, flustered, and inexplicably closer than ever. And somewhere deep in the cosmos, gravity waited patiently for the next prank.